The city of Verith glowed with cold blue light beneath a smog of silver clouds. It was a planet of order, precision, and perfection, the proud capital of the Kethari Empire. Every citizen was engineered for purpose. Every life had a function. And those without measurable worth, they were quietly erased from society. Zyra was one of them. Born with a defect in her neural patterning, she lacked the efficiency the Kethari prized. She was too emotional, too empathetic, traits the Kethari considered wasteful. For years she tried to hide it. She worked in maintenance halls, cleaning reactor conduits, mending fiber conduits. But her supervisors noticed how often she paused to help others, even when it wasn't assigned to her. One cycle the decision came down. Her supervisor's cold, crystalline voice echoed through the chamber. Worker Zyra, 19A. Functionality. Inefficient. Emotional interference detected. You are to be decommissioned. She remembered standing there, trembling as two enforcers approached. Please, she whispered. I can still work. I can learn. They didn't answer. They stripped her badge, erased her name from the central grid, and ejected her through the city's lower gate, into the smog-choked outskirts where the discarded went to fade away. Zyra wandered for days through the metallic wastelands outside Verith. Her once silver skin dulled to gray, and her body weakened. She slept in ruined transport shells, surviving on condensation and the occasional nutrient scrap she could salvage. And that's where she saw it, a strange object cutting through the clouds, descending in fire and noise. It wasn't Kethari tech. It was crude, rugged, asymmetrical. She didn't know it then, but it was human. Middle. The crash rocked the wasteland. Zyra followed the smoke trail, her weak limbs trembling. When she reached the wreck, she saw the hull torn open, flames licking at its edges. Inside was a man, bleeding, dazed, trying to pull himself free. He looked unlike anything she had ever seen. His skin was rough and warm, his features softer than any Kethari's, his movements clumsy but determined. He coughed violently, looked up at her and blinked. Hey, he rasped. Didn't think anyone lived out here. Zyra hesitated. You are injured. Yeah, I noticed, he groaned, trying to smile through the pain. Name's Captain Aaron Holt, United Terran Exploratory Corps. My ship's toast. Guess I'm the first idiot to crash on your planet. She didn't understand half of what he said, but she could tell he was in pain. Against every instinct she'd been taught, to avoid the strange, the non-Kethari, she reached for him. You will not survive the cold night, she said softly. Come with me. He looked at her, surprised. You're helping me. Why? Zyra lowered her gaze. Because no one helped me. They spent that night in the wreckage of a derelict transport dome. Zyra scavenged heat coils from the human ship and reconnected them using broken conduit wire. The dome filled with warmth for the first time in years. Aaron's wounds were deep, but Zyra cleaned and wrapped them with scraps of synth cloth. As he rested, she studied him curiously. You're kind, she asked quietly. Why did you come here? Aaron opened one eye. Exploration mission. We're supposed to learn about other species. Peacefully, you know? Guess I messed that part up by falling out of the sky. Zyra tilted her head. Your ship was beautiful. Even broken. He chuckled. That's one way to look at it. As days passed, Aaron healed slowly. Zyra helped him walk, scavenged supplies, and even modified the wreck's power cell to run small tools. In return, Aaron repaired parts of the transport dome, patching holes, reinforcing the roof and clearing debris. You don't have to stay here, he told her one evening. Once I get the distress beacon working, I can call for pickup. I'll make sure they take you with me. Find you a new home." Zyra's eyes dimmed. "I have no home. Your kind would not want me either." "Don't be so sure," Aaron said gently. "On Earth, we don't throw people away just because they don't fit a checklist." Zyra looked up, her voice trembling. "Your people sound kind." He smiled. "We try." But peace didn't last. One night, a blinding blue searchlight swept across the wasteland. A Kethari patrol skimmer descended near their dome. Aaron cursed, grabbing the plasma pistol from his ruined suit. "Who are they?" "My people," Zyra whispered in fear. "They come for me." 3 Kethari soldiers stepped through the mist. Their voices were sharp, metallic. "Subject Zyra, 19A. You are harboring an alien trespasser. Step aside or face dissolution." Aaron stepped forward. "Back off," he growled, raising his pistol. The lead Kethari regarded him coldly. "You are fragile flesh. Do not interfere." Aaron fired first. The blast hit the ground near their feet. A warning shot. "Last chance," he said. The Kethari ignored it and advanced. The next instant, the wasteland erupted in light. Aaron fired again, striking one of the soldiers in the chest. The others retaliated with energy lances, forcing him behind debris. Zyra screamed and ran toward him. "Stop! He is not your enemy," she cried, but one of the lances grazed her shoulder. She fell to the ground, gasping. Something inside Aaron snapped. He leaped from cover, rolled, and fired until his weapon overheated. The soldiers fell, their armor sparking. When the smoke cleared, Zyra lay trembling in his arms. He tore a strip from his sleeve and pressed it to her wound. "You'll be okay," he whispered fiercely. "I've got you." Her eyes fluttered. "You risked your life. For me." "Damn right I did," he said. "You're worth it." Later that night, they buried the fallen Kethari under a pile of stones. Zyra sat beside the small fire Aaron built, her eyes reflecting the flames. "I should go," she said quietly. "They will send more. You must leave before they find you." Aaron shook his head. "Not without you." "You don't understand," she insisted. "To the Kethari, I am defective. To them, I should not exist. You risked death for nothing." Aaron met her gaze. "You saved my life. You gave me shelter. You gave me hope when I crashed in the middle of nowhere." "That's not nothing, Zyra." Tears welled in her silver eyes, something no Kethari had ever shown emotion for. "Why do you care so much?" Aaron smiled faintly. "Because I'm human. It's what we do. We care, even when we shouldn't." For the first time in her life, Zyra felt warmth not from machines, but from someone's words. Ending. 2 weeks later, the human distress beacon finally sent its signal. A Terran rescue vessel arrived in orbit, sleek and white, hovering above the wasteland. Aaron helped Zyra pack what little they had. But when the shuttle descended, she stopped at the edge of the ramp. "If I go with you, will they not see me as a monster?" Aaron took her hand gently. "Zyra, back on Earth we've got a saying, one man's trash is another man's treasure. You're no monster. You're a miracle." She smiled softly, truly smiled for the first time. When they stepped aboard, the crew stared in surprise at the alien woman beside him. One of them whispered, "Sir, you're bringing that aboard?" Aaron stood tall. "She's not a that. Her name's Zyra. She's with me." The crew fell silent, and the pilot nodded slowly. "Understood, Captain." Months later, Zyra stood on a balcony overlooking a human city. Real sunlight on her skin, real wind through her hair. Children laughed below. For the first time, she wasn't afraid to be seen.